This is Mike with 76 Acres. Today we're installing a EG4 mini split unit, and we're going to be doing some unboxing as well. So I need the template for the layout. Woo, would you look at that? Right on top, just where it needs to be. And that's what we're after. Sweet design. Everything's packed in here nice and neat too. Oh, remote. Go ahead and get some of this stuff out of the way because I'm going to need this unit out anyways. All of our installation, extra drain hose, remote, batteries, and everything's included. Owner's manual as well. Sweet. All that foam's always nice, isn't it? Wow, these things are clean. I love it. Boy, this thing is stout. All right, and there's our unit. And our communication and wiring harness right there. Set that aside because that's what we're going to need to set up the head unit itself. Let's lift this up, kick the box out of the way. Well, these things are packaged really well. That is amazing. And there's our mounting bracket. All right. I need to grab a screwdriver real quick. Okay, so this is a packing screw right here. You will not need this again. You won't be able to get this back on once this is hanging on the wall. But there's our bracket now. We're just gonna go ahead and do a couple of things to get this thing ready. A lot of people get scared about these line sets. And if you look, the newer units now come with a coil on there to help keep from kinking when you bend these things. So now we're just gonna fold these up. I'm gonna give a little back pressure right here, and I'm just gonna ease that line set up, right? Keeping a steady, slow pressure on it. Get it where we want it. Now there's a drain plug over here. So the drain plug, we're gonna remove it on this side. Comes out really easy. And then on this side, we're gonna relocate the drain itself. There's a little clip on there. You just kind of move it out of the way and slide the hose off. We're going to reinstall it over here. You'll see there's a little clip right there, and that locks it on there. So we want to make sure we get that back on there. You'll know when it's on there far enough because that clip will line up, and you'll clip it on there really good, just like that. We'll just slide that clip around, and voila. We will reinsert the drain plug. Now we're going to reinsert this right in there. You can add a little moisture on there to help it slide in and just push it all the way in till it bottoms out. Now our drain plug is relocated and we're all set to go. All right, so now let's check out the outdoor unit, see what it looks like. So far, very impressed with the packaging. Everything's been awesome on this stuff. Simple, and there, whoa. There's our line set. Comes with the package. Comes with the outdoor unit, all insulated. Yeah, our line set with additional insulators. Sweet. And another roll of tape. This is what you'll use to wrap your line set up once you get it installed. So with that, we're going to jump on into the head unit and getting it located and mounted on the wall. Whew. Word of advice, don't leave your purlin out in this East Texas sun. So now we got an idea. Grab my level. Oh, would you look at that? Spot on. All right, now we just got to cut out some of that foam. Should be fairly easy. And that purlin's going to sit on here flush and support the indoor unit. Hey, this is so satisfying. You need to do this. Right? It's like popping them bubbles. All right. That should be good. Same here. Don't worry. I'm not an electrician. I will use a broom. All right. Sweet. See if that'll stab up there now. Perfect. Grab my screw gun. Use a self-tapping screw. All right. Double check. Make sure we're level. Yeah, needs to go up a little bit. And just like that, go to this other side. All right, now we got a solid backer for bracket, and we are spot on level. That is sweet. Now what I'm gonna do is I wanna probe the wall because we got ribs on the outside of this, and I don't want the line set when I drill the hole to land on the rib. I want it to set in between there. So now I'm just gonna poke my pencil and find where there's a rib. And right there it is. So I'm safe to drill roughly right in here for the pattern for my hole. So I'm gonna reference that. So if you look right here, here's how we're gonna go. So now my hole is right there where I'm gonna drill through for the line set, right? So we're good, and we didn't make a mess. Double check that. Yep, there's my rib. I can tell by the depth of my pencil, those ribs are roughly 1.25 inches deep. So that's about how much I had left over. My pencil sticking through. Yep, right there it is. Yep, that's it. Awesome. Grab our bracket. Now I just want to see how that's going to mount on there. That's going to be plenty. Put my screws in and give me enough. That'll hold that unit just fine. So now we're going to mark our hole. Verify that again. All right. And there's our hole. That's where we're going to go. I'm going to gear up with a whole 2.5 inch hole saw, and then we'll get back at it. No rib. So we're going to send this home. Woo! Simple as that. Right? We're good. I'm going to chuck up, grab my other drill, get ready, set this template in place, and mark all my holes. I'm going to line that right back up, really close to it. Then I'm going to take the screw and use it as a marker because this is an exact replica of the actual. Now I'm going to level up the template as well. Make sure this unit is perfectly level. There we go. Okay, we're done with the template. Grab the bracket. You can see right there on the template how it lines right up. Let's get us another one in there, just for good luck. That is solid. That's going to be nice, right? That's going to work out really good. That's awesome. Also, a bunch of these holes are 16 inch on center, so you can nail it onto a stud if you're nailing on a drywall house or so forth. But this is really cool. We'll measure that out, show you. So this one's actually a bigger unit, but you can see how some of these holes are lining up right on 16 inch on center. Ooh, so you can get this mounted onto a stud, right? Typical framing in America is 16 inch on center a lot of times in homes and stuff. So now we're ready to wire up the head unit, stab it on the outside, and we're good to go. All right, so now we got to get the head unit prepped. We've got to wire it up. This is really simple. All the wires are labeled. So we got 1, 2, 3, and a ground. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these wires kind of going in the right direction through this little hole down here. And this is kind of tricky. Sometimes you need 2 people, but I just want to get them in there, right? So I'm just gonna shove these wires in there. I want to kind of jam them in there because now we got to flip the head unit over. And sometimes it's best to just leave your line set already down. But for me, I've done this a time or two. So now we're just gonna flip it over. We got to get our tape off. So we got to remove the packing tape because we got to open up this part right here to get to the wires we just put in there. If I can get it off there. Boy, this stuff is strong. Holy cow, man. Tell you what, they did a good job packing this stuff up. That's for sure. So now we're gonna just rotate it off, leave our line set kind of hanging off the side there. We're gonna lift open this part right here, and this is what we're after. This little access panel right here. We're just gonna open that up. So, like I said, the ground screw is the only one that you will have to take all the way, right? So we get it in there. This is the ground screw, so you will have to take it all the way out. It's the only one you'll have to do. If you use that little eyelet to hold the screw, let me steady my hand. It's hot here in East Texas, man. So we're just going to tighten that bad boy down. Make sure it's good and snug. We don't want a lot. We don't want to strip it out. Then we're going to go in order. So I need wire number 1, which is right there. We're going to make sure this is loosened up. That's loose. We're going to go ahead and loosen these all up because we're just going to shove those in there and tighten them down in sequence. Start with number 1. Feed it in there. There we go. Let's find number 2 right there. And number 3. You verify that. Where's the little sticky? Make sure that's number 3. Yep, that's number 3 right there. Okay, we're good. Do a little tug test, make sure they're all good. Find our screw, put our little cover plate back on, and this unit's ready to hang on the wall. Close it all up. We're good. All right, now just unbundle our cable. We're going to set that aside for right now. We're going to flip this back up because here's the kind of the fun part. So we got all this cable, we got all these line sets, but what I want to do to make it easier is I want to wrap some tape around here to make sure that it makes it easier to go in. Plus we want our drain hose on the bottom. That'll just help with drainage of the unit once it's through the wall. Let me grab this tape. And it doesn't have to be full on, just enough to hold it, just to make it a little bit easier. More than likely we will take this one off outside because our line set's going to be bent different than our drain hose. So with that, let's go wrestle this thing on the wall. Now we have all this extra, so here we go. That's clipped back. Okay. This is the fun part. I'm going to balance this. Go ahead and feed my cables through. Here we go. So we're going to line up on the back and the holes and rotate the unit down. And that's it. Pretty straightforward, huh? We could spray foam this in with later on, but now we're gonna go outside, and I'll take a look at how the drain hose and the line sets are coming out of the wall. All right, drill, mounting bracket for hanging on the wall. Let's go see what it looks like. All right. Looky there, looky there. That's what I was talking about, folks, not hitting the rib. So now when I put my beauty ring on here, it's gonna seal up nice and neat and look really clean. That was the whole point of that. So now I'm gonna take this tape off. This no longer needed. Now you see our drain line is on the bottom where it needs to be. It's pitched down, so we'll get a good drain out of this unit, and we'll deflect it away from the base. We got good gravel down here, so we're golden there. Let's open up this, use the hood of this car. We got enough cars around here to use for everything. No knife needed on this. Ooh, rubber isolators, lag bolts, and our bracket. That is sweet. That's it. There's all the bolts you need to mount the actual unit to the bracket itself. I didn't know that. Way to go. And I was gonna say you need a level, but check this out. It comes with one on it. Sweet. That really makes for a fast install. Those fold out. Right on. Now let's find how we're gonna mount this thing on there. We gotta know we have a purlin in behind here, and see how many screws we can get on here. Yeah, that's gonna be about, it's gonna be about right. That'll get it off the ground, and I can hit those ribs right over a purlin. That's gonna give it the rigidity that I need to hold this thing on the wall. Right on. Let's get us some screws. I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't matter. It's not really crucial just to get it on here, but I'd want to make sure I'm on a... There we go. Let's get it level. And we're gonna go with levels right on. That's okay. It's still a little loose, but I'm gonna address that here in a minute, because I'm gonna end up going all the way through. Oh, crazy grasshoppers. Oh yeah, that's solid now. I'm liking that. But like I said, I will go back in. I'm gonna put another bolt all the way through into the purlin to hang that thing on, right? Next, fold these out. We'll just hang them on there. They just slide on, which is really cool. I've already measured the unit itself, the feet, and they're roughly 24 inches apart. So what we're gonna do here is just kind of get this about where we want it. Pretty doggone close right there. I'm gonna move that to there. Just all right, and that's that. All right, so I used the self-tappers just temporary, but I'm gonna go ahead and drill out for the bolts, because I can bolt this straight through the purlin. I will put a little caulk or sealant on top of these right here where these bolts go through to seal the holes up. So here we go. Woo! That dude is in there. Woo! Finally. There we go. Perfect. Sure we get our washers on there. All right, that's golden. Now, put the nuts on the inside. Then we'll install the, hang the unit. All right, we're back. We got rained out yesterday, so we couldn't finish installing the line sets. And we're gonna put on the beauty ring and address all of this right here. Then we're gonna do the wiring, and we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. A lot of people think this beauty ring goes on the inside, but your head unit actually covers up the hole on the inside. So we want this on the outside, and it just pops apart. If I did the hole size right, it should just slide right in there, like so. We'll just clip it back together. And it looks like I got the right size hole. And now we can seal around that and make that a good clean install, right? So next we're just gonna take our line set. We're just gonna bend them down, get them in the right position. Just being careful not to kink them as usual. We're just gonna go straight down like so. There's our drain line. These line sets also come with little caps on the end of them. So the caps, you'll remove those, and here's our line set. Now comes the fun part. We're just gonna set this back here. But we're gonna remove all these little caps first. This just protects the stuff during shipping. Woo! And this East Texas heat and humidity is a booger bear, man. So these line sets are different sizes. You can't get them backwards. I'm gonna take this one, set it aside for right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one kind of bent, real easy. Get it started, help hold it up there. Because I'm gonna position these here in a minute, and stretch them all out. And you crazy, there it goes. Do not put any thread sealant. Do not put anything on these threads. These are a dry fit, they're brass, they will seal by themselves. There's an O-ring inside that seals off the lines. So now that one's done, slowly bend this one up as well. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me get this cord out of the way. So we're gonna do some cable management later, but for right now, I just kind of want it out of the way. Now we gotta remove this cover so we can get to the valves and all that, and voila. And in there, you'll see these little pins. I'll show what those are for here in a minute. So in the kit, there's an Allen wrench that you'll see. Now this is going to be for opening the valves on the outside unit. Well, we're not gonna need that just yet. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work these lines around carefully, not to kink them. Okay, we got that one bent where it'll go in there. It's being a little booger, but it's going. There it went. In the directions, it calls to 26 Newton meters, 25 to 30 Newton meters actually. But I've installed so many of these now that I got a good guess on how tight that really needs to be. Always follow the recommended install procedures. Snug, we just got to work the other one around now.
So
Snug.
what we're going to do here is grab the smaller line set. We're going to hand tighten this bad boy on as far as we can by hand, just by jiggling the line set a little bit, kind of helps it thread on easier so we can use our hands versus having to get the wrench out, right? Now we get our wrench, we're just going to drive it on home. Once we're there, it'll come to a stop. We're going to snug it up, put our backup wrench on, and then we're just going to give it just a little bit more. We do not want to over tighten these lines because the valve could be damaged by over tightening them. By just a good snug gets us around the 26 to 30 Newton meters of torque. And now we're going to move over to hooking up the line sets to the head unit, and it's just a rinse and repeat at this time, but be careful at this stage because you could twist the line sets. This is soft copper we are dealing with here, but we're just going to snug those things up, and you'll see that I'm going to get my backup wrench because we don't want to twist these lines again, and we're just going to snug that up. Little bit. You can see right there that is not a lot on there. We do not want to over tighten these. Let's get them kind of pushed in position. We'll pull down our insulation a little bit, and this is where we'll add those gray pieces on to cover the lines up. Grab our tape. When we're all done, we'll wrap all this up nice and neat and do some good wire management and line set management as well, securing those to the wall, to the bracket, whatever that looks like. Here we're taking the cover off, and I want to get inside, get ready to wire this up. What we're going to do is drill a hole through that little cap right there because I want to run that cable through.
All right, that's nice and tight, just like we like it. We got a cable straight right here. Make sure we get enough slack in there. It's good. Okay, there we go. Nice and tight. And here comes the fun part. There's that lonely old ground screw way up there. That's going to give us trouble. A little bit more slack. Make sure that reaches, and we're good. Okay. Once again, our wires are numbered. There's number 3, 1, and 2, and ground. So we just follow the numbers once again. Need my seeing eye glasses for this. Wire number 1. Number 2. And number 3. Now our tricky ground screw. This is going to be the fun one. Let's hope we don't drop it. If it drops, we're in trouble. Ah, yes, we got it. Oh boy, so fun. There we go. Ooh, we got lucky. Make sure through our tug test, everything's good. That's wiring it up. Now we'll just repeat, put all this stuff back on. Now here's the fun part. Let's open this up, turn these valves on, and this unit is ready to go, other than the solar. That'll be on another video where we actually install the solar on the house and power this unit strictly off the PV array. So now you just crack these valves open. You'll hear the refrigerant equalizing. Turn that all the way back, back seat, just like so. This is an important step. Make sure the power is off when you're doing this. If you have it pre-wired, you do not want that compressor turning on with these valves closed. You'll burn up the compressor. Once again, little back seat of that dude, and our system is good to go. And there we go, guys. That's a complete system ready to go now, other than the power. Okay, so our clips, they slide right in these little holes right here. That just kind of locks that fitting together. There's no vibration on these. This is just like a precautionary thing. Just slides right in there. Okay, that's it. We're done. I really appreciate you guys coming out today, watching the video. I hope it helps. If you want more information, you can check the link in the description on more products from EG4 and Signature Solar. I appreciate you guys for stopping in, and we'll see you next time.